everyone and welcome to CFC Fan TV. This is my post-match review where Chelsea have just won 2-0 against West Ham. I've just got home and it's absolutely pissing it down outside. It's so cold, so rainy, but a great turnout tonight at the Bridge. Full stadium as far as I could see. Fans are still cheering away. I think that win against Brighton really put everybody in high spirits, which is nice. I haven't seen you guys for a while. I am going to be back in the studio on Wednesday doing lots of videos with Sammy. I will address some of the mean things people have been saying about me. I will do that on Wednesday, but I don't want to focus on that tonight. Yeah, you know, I'm not going anywhere, guys. This is my channel. I want to introduce new people to the channel, of course, because I think any fan that wants to come on and, you know, is a supporter of Chelsea Football Club should be allowed to come on and express their opinion, whether or not you guys or I agree with them. It's more about just letting everybody express how they feel, and if that's not something that you or I agree with, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, we're all fans at the end of the day. We all have different opinions. But yeah, let's get into the game then. So absolutely thrilled with that. Still a bit boring at points, you know, a few sloppy passes. I think even from Hudson-Odoi today, he did make a few errors. But nevertheless, I think it's wonderful that Sarri is, you know, playing the youngsters. Doesn't mean I'm sorry in. But yeah, I think if I'm being honest, I think he's probably run out of ideas and he thought maybe it is a bit of a good time to start them. And maybe he's doing it because he thinks that's what the fans want, which I'm all for, of course. But yeah, I think if it was his ideology, then he probably would have done it a long time ago. But nevertheless, I did think it was a really good game. I thought Eden Hazard's first goal, how amazing was that? And how much are we going to miss him if and when? I think it's when he goes to Real Madrid. You know, he's such a world-class player, and I think Dan next to me said it's, you know, just, and I think even Charlie tweeted it's one of the best he's seen. You know, him score even by his high standards. So, and that's so amazing for a player, isn't it? A player that's so good that they can still surprise you with amazing goals like that. And I think that's crazy. Normally you see players at their peak, but Eden Hazard seems to just come out with good goal after good goal and good performance after good performance. And we're just going to desperately miss him, and I just hope that we spend the money that we get for him wisely, when we can spend it, of course, because we've got a bit of a transfer ban, but we'll see what happens with that. So yeah, amazing goal. It's definitely the highlight of the game for me. Love to see Loftus-Cheek on the pitch. I know he got substituted and Bartley came on at the end, or towards the end, but nevertheless I think it's fantastic to see them all playing. Shame Ross Bartley couldn't score his goal. That probably should have gone bottom left. And, you know, we had a lot of other good chances, especially in, well, first and second half, really. West Ham's keeper sort of did a very good job, I think. Yeah, he let in 2 goals, but, you know, you can't stop the likes of Eden Hazard, can you, very often? But no, I thought he made a couple of really good, a few really good saves. And yeah, they scared me only at one point during the game, second half, midway through, I think. And because I'm in the shed up where it looked like the ball had gone in the back of the net, but it was one of those that just sort of slid round. It's really weird. So maybe that doesn't really reflect it on TV, but definitely that. Other pickup points then, Higuain, I suppose. I mean, I spoke to Dan about this. It's a bit of a tricky one, really, because I feel like all of our signings have come in and, no, not all of our signings. How can I word it better? I feel like he actually in the first half made a few decent passes, lost the ball, chased after it, passed it back to one of our players. I thought, you know, his work ethic was right there. The problem is that the players that we're signing, no matter how good they are with their passing, how they are on the ball, you know, we need him to score goals. You know, that's what we brought him in for, because he's a striker, and we're not seeing that at the moment. So that's one thing that I think worries me slightly. Yes, he brought on Giroud towards the end. But I think it's probably a bit too late by then. I think I do think in these sorts of games, if you're going to go with Giroud, you probably need to start him early on, or, you know, keep him on the pitch at least half time. Because I think having him come on towards the last few minutes doesn't really do much for the squad. But, you know, nevertheless, it was a clean sheet. It was 2 fantastic goals from Eden Hazard. You know, let me know what you guys think about him leaving, because I know we do lots of videos on it and it's all hearsay, but I think the rumours are sort of getting quite strong now, and I think it is quite likely that he is going to go, because if you think about it, his contract ends year after, and Chelsea aren't going to want to have him go on a free, because that would just be horrendous. Financially for us, business-wise, would be terrible, because we obviously need that money to you know, buy in players to replace him. It's sort of like you're thinking, right, we're going to need about 4 or 5 players just to replace one. And I think you'll probably see a team rebuild there as well, because at the moment, you know, our team sort of centres around Hazard. He's very rarely left on the bench. I mean, maybe at the start of the season because of the World Cup and everything. But other than that, you know, he's always featured in every single game. And I think if he's ever been left out, it's only been strategically. So it's not been because he's not played well or performed well, because that would just be ludicrous. Definitely that ain't the case. But yeah, that is one worry, and I just hope that we can, you know, resolve that in the summer, and I hope it happens swiftly, because I think I saw somebody on Twitter earlier ask, how would Hazard go, like, you know, how would he be remembered at Chelsea if he was to leave? And it would be there, like, somebody said, you know, he's more than the right to play wherever he wants, and he would go down as one of the greats. And I absolutely, completely agree with that. It's such a shame that he can't stay for longer. I would love to have him stay at the club, and I think the reason he has is because, you know, London's a fantastic city to live in. It's a nice way of life. Yeah, it's a bit cold, but, you know, most players actually quite like living in London. It's a fantastic city, so it's not somewhere he'd be like, particularly unhappy. You know, he's not right up north where, you know, that'll probably all be a little bit too much for somebody who doesn't come from this country, can't come from this country, I think. And he's obviously wanted to stay loyal to Chelsea, and I think he has done. You know, even when we've not had Premier League football, he's still stayed, and I think that's a sign of a brilliant player, isn't it? And that's, you know, I think he's been more than loyal enough to us, and I don't think he'd get any harsh reaction from any Chelsea fan when he does leave. He's always prepared us for the fact that he said that he would love to go to Real Madrid. So yeah, it's going to be a shame for us, because we're not going to see, well, we're not for a while anyway, going to see goals like what we did today. And, you know, I think West Ham fans even are thinking, God, I wish we had a player like that, you know? And I actually thought, you know, I think West Ham have got an okay team. I didn't see them. I predicted 2-0 tonight. I should have called it. I should have tweeted it out or something. That I sent a guy at the tube station at West Brompton who said he thought it was going to be 2-1. And I said, no, I'm going for 2-0 tonight. Because I didn't see them getting a goal, and I think that's partly because of our win against Brighton. I think that gave us a massive confidence boost. I just thought the team played 10 times better today. They were trying to create, you know, passes inside the box, trying to make it happen. Yeah, West Ham did defend quite well at times, so that was a little bit difficult. But other than that, I think everybody played pretty well. I actually quite like having Emerson in there instead of Alonso. I think he's deserved the right to be in the team lately. I think Alonso had a few too many bad games, and I think actually doesn't set a good example. And I'm finally happy that Sarri's putting the youngsters in, because whether they make mistakes or not, you know, we're getting the wins out of these games, which is what we weren't seeing when we had Willian in or Kovacic or whoever. And I love those players, don't get me wrong, but I think when something's not working, you have to change it up. And I'm just happy that Sarri's finally done that. This is not me saying I was wrong. This is not me, you know, praising Sarri to the max. I don't know why everyone gets so angry about it, because, you know, we're all fans of opinions, and that's really all it is. But yeah, nevertheless, I'm happy with that result. I think we did really well, and at the end of the day, it's another win, and it's another push towards, you know, a top 4 spot, and that's the most important thing. Yes, I do want to win the Europa League. I do think it is very important that we do try to win a trophy this season. I mean, I can't imagine Roman Abramovich and the board are going to keep a manager who hasn't won a trophy this season. Yes, we're trying new football, but it will be the first in a while, because normally they don't last 2 seconds if that's the case. So, yeah, I do think he needs to win a trophy this season. I do think it's vital that we, even if we get guaranteed, you know, even if we're pushing towards top 4 and it looks like we're going to be the team that's in contention for that, I still want us to go and win the Europa League. I still want us to have every option, and I still think we should be trying to aiming for as high as possible, whether or not that means, I don't want us to think that, oh, we'll just go for the Europa League and try and win that. You know, no, I want us to get top 4 in the Premier League. I want us to finish high in that. I think we've definitely still got a chance. You know, Arsenal are going to have some tough games, especially on the road. Yes, I know we still have Liverpool coming up, we still have United and all those teams, but, you know, I'm looking forward to those games, and I do think if we give it our all, we have got a shot now. And that's just because we changed the team, I think. And I think Hudson-Odoi is such a fantastic player that he's only going to get better and better. So, you know, I'm happy for him to make those small mistakes on the pitch, as long as it means that we're getting the win. And at the end of the day, guys, tonight was a clean sheet, so you can't really ask for more than that in a London derby. So comment below, let me know your thoughts. 2-0, 3 points, happy days. See you Wednesday.